Ezekiel's experience in heaven. The palace. Chronicles of the bride. January 7th, 2007. Ebook, Chronicles of the Bride, on heartdwellers.org. Tonight, Lord, as usual, you have asked for me to come aside with you to an out-of-the-way place where we can be together for a while. As soon as I understood this, I found myself standing on a sandy peninsula at the edge of a small river. It seems to be somewhere in Egypt, as there are papyrus reeds along the bank, and I can see a few village people in traditional Egyptian garments working to spread out their nets on the opposite shore. Beside me is a long, rough-hewn boat with push poles lying neatly tucked into the barque and resting across the wooden seats. I look up, and the Lord is standing by the front of the boat, winding up the rope and preparing to push out into the water. I reach down to help guide it into the river, and stepping into the current, I pull myself up and into the back. The water is amazingly multicolored, sparkling with prism rainbow colors throughout. And it is wonderfully warm, yet different in the fact that it does not feel like earthly water. It has a nice, soft, refreshing sensation, yet once out, I'm comfortable and moist, but not dripping wet. It is a balmy, sunny day here, and white egrets are walking carefully along the water's edge, picking up their long stilts with black feet and eyeing with great deftness the shallows for their midday meal. However, when they come up, it is not fish that they have caught, but the leaves of some tender underwater plants. I remember the scriptures saying, "The lion will eat hay like the fox," and recall to mind that there is no killing or death at all in heaven. Jesus pulls us forward and positions us more toward the center of the flowing current, and I am awed by the sight of two adult hippopotamus lumbering along just ahead. Close in tow is a precious baby calf, happily bouncing to keep up with its parents. They open wide their mouths in a gaping yawn, moving their heads up and down to us as we pass them by. My heart and mind are already racing with excitement, having seen these two sets of residents so closely together. "I told you that this would be a special place, didn't I?" Jesus says, resting the pole across his lap for a moment. "Oh Lord, do you ever cease to amaze me?" I respond, meeting Jesus' loving gaze with my own. When I see you look at me like this, my heart begins to beat loudly within my chest, and I am sure that all in heaven and earth can hear and feel it. Beloved, I feel as if my whole being is aflame with the most amorous passion for you. I just want to throw myself into your arms this instant, I said, leaning forward to come to you. Jesus says, Whoa, my bride, you're surely going to turn us over right here in the middle of the river. Is that what you want?" Without hesitation, I shout, "Yes!" I leap toward him, and the boat capsizes immediately. Here we are, laughing and rolling like two little children, immersed in this celestial water, and overjoyed to be in each other's arms. As the rivers here are typically shallow, I stand up on the sandy bottom, as do you, and we fling ourselves forward simultaneously, stretching out our arms and hands to catch the longboat, which now is beyond us in the current. Jesus swims ahead quickly and catches hold of the rope, and I catch up to him just in time to catch the side and climb back in. After he helps me get my legs over, he jumps up out of the water and joyfully swings his own up, turning to land back in his seat. That was quite a hug, Jesus blurts out, still shaking the sparkling water off of his face. Yes, I know. Let's do it again, I giggle. He feigns as if to tip the boat over again, and then catch the sides, steadying it soundly with a hearty laugh. We are still breathing heavily from the escapade, and once again we are looking into one another's eyes, and I sigh deeply with otherworldly delight. I cannot believe that I am truly here, looking into the eyes of my beloved, and I am captured all the more by the beating of his heart, which by this time is radiating out and into my own. Sensing that he is filled with anticipation, knowing what lies ahead for me, I come back to myself somewhat, picking up the sturdy pole to push alongside the boat. But I am still fully floating in the breezes of love. Jesus looks so majestic as he sits high and erect in the bow, pushing along to keep us moving forward. Up in the distance, slightly rounding a curve, I see a bamboo dock jutting out into the river. It is still a bit upriver, but you begin to push with even greater vigor. Your enthusiasm causes me to push with greater determination, and I seem to know instinctively that we are coming closer toward the reason for our voyage. Now, people from every direction are running along the shores, waving their hands in the air and cheering to us with gleeful celebration. As we approach the pier, I can see that what awaits us is much grander than anything I had before imagined. Towering high above the wide steps that lead up from the river is the most beautiful palace I have ever seen. 12 royal guards are stationed across from one another, ascending the marble stairs leading upward. I feel a bit embarrassed at the thought of not having dressed properly for such an occasion, and looking down, I am stunned to see that we have been totally transformed. We are no longer mussed and tussled from our earlier play, but are both dressed exquisitely in the most regal wedding garments. With beauty and splendor, we disembark, and are escorted along the pier and upward by the guards. Reaching the top, I am speechless at the sight before me. Straight ahead is a huge open-air entryway. Through the large curved opening is a royal hall with rounded walls reaching up to a massive rotunda. Cascading down from high balconies are natural waterfalls, making their way down the walls covered with rock faces and ferns, ivy and other lush greenery. The whole place has been transformed into one big indoor jungle. Toucans and macaws glide gracefully down from their perches, mingling with other exotic birds of every kind. An occasional chameleon will allow himself to be detected, while small groups of lemurs call to each other from the vines, announcing the arrival of the king and his bride. Jesus takes my arm and brings my attention to a sweeping white staircase off to our left. Up and up we are taken, as if being carried on the fragrant air until we reach the top balcony. As he guides me forward, I feel as light as a feather holding your hand. Now, here in front of us is a curtain opening up into the foyer of a master drawing room. Once inside, I can smell the wondrous scent of eucalyptus trees. To one side is a luxurious couch with fine silk pillows. To the opposite side is a large bureau and wardrobe. Oriental chairs made of teak wood are placed about the room, and soft wispy curtains hang down from a double doorway, which opens out onto a wide outdoor veranda. We proceed out through the doors and seat ourselves at a small white table. Obviously, our arrival was expected, for here before us is set a very nice brunch. Melons and guavas, complete with sweetbreads and eggs, salads and teas, are among the many delectable refreshments. Also, yogurts and grains, with fresh cream and milk, adorn the presentation, nestled among orchids, magnolias, fragrant gardenias, and jasmine flowers. Nothing could be so perfect as this glorious reception, and no one could ever be so absolutely smitten as I am here, sharing these nuptial delights with him.